Boreout, do we know what that means?
I've never heard the term. It seems like it could be connected to the word boring.
Yes.
Burnout takes a toll on our body. But have you ever heard of bore out? This word doesn't get as much attention as its workaholic cousin. But it's just as evil. Bore out refers to chronic boredom. It's normal for everyone to get bored at work occasionally.
How many buzzwords can you have? The answer is yes. In fact, this was a buzzword from 2 years ago that didn't catch on, so they're recycling it. And it's that season of the year again where it's time to tell employees they're disengaged, and it's costing their employer money, okay? So be interested in the work that you have no interest or passion about at all, okay? You're costing us money. So there's a brand new LinkedIn news page here, updated 16 hours ago. Boreout joins burnout as concern for companies. From first post 2 years ago, 4.4K views. Buzzword just didn't catch on. Wasn't as good as quiet quitting. So it's time to go ahead and recycle that one. A little boredom never hurt anybody, but if your workers are deeply disengaged from jobs they find dull, that's a costly problem. See, even if you're working hard, but you're not engaged, you're still costing the company money. You can't do anything right as the employee. Trendy buzz phrases describing the latest office habits come and go, like memes or schoolyard slang, but the latest workplace trend label may require your close attention. It's dubbed Boreout. This is the latest one from 2 years ago. And then there's this one from 25 News KXXV. 141 views 3 months ago. Doesn't look like it caught on much. But be assured, everyone, this is the latest trend. So at the very least, your bored employees could take a bite out of your workforce's productivity or a ding in your profits. Boreout is worse than burnout. It's when boredom becomes a regular feature of work, a chronic condition that can zap people's motivation, kill concentration, and leaves your workforce mentally and emotionally tired out. This newly coined word stems from an opposing workplace condition. Is it really newly coined? Literally 2 years. There was actually a study here that says your disengaged employees are costing them an annual average of $4,000 for hourly workers, and over $4,200 for salaried work, and over $10,000 for managers that are disengaged, and $20,000 for executives that are disengaged. Really? So let's crack down on the hourly workers, right? As a company leader, it may be hard to keep up with allegedly important workplace trends like quiet quitting, quiet cracking, job hugging, and numerous others. But Boreout might merit a little extra attention. People just don't care about jobs that it's just a job to them, and that's all it is. They're not going to be any more engaged than they have to be, especially if there's no reward for it.
Bore out is when your job feels pointless and tasks seem to be devoid of value. There's a little bit of working and a lot of staring at the ceiling. There's maybe a little nap here and a lot of coffee chugging there. Maybe even online shopping and holiday planning, all while being at work, simply to pass time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at a salaried position and you've done all the work that is required of you and everybody's happy and you got a whole bunch of time, might as well just do some shopping and some other things. You have no real motivation to just keep working as a salaried employee.
You ask yourself, how did I get here? Well, there could be a number of factors. Maybe your physical workplace environment is demoralizing, or your job doesn't challenge you enough. Maybe the project you were hired for is no longer a priority. It could also be that you shouldn't have been hired in the first place, or that you were brought on board a little too soon. All in all, Boreout is about people not having enough work to do. It is seen as jobless employees.
So how is this on the employees? I don't understand. If they don't have enough work to do, that's on the company to keep them busy, give them work.
And it is different for different people. Maybe someone is lazy and secretly enjoys chilling at work. Maybe someone wants to do more, but doesn't know how to tell.
Here's a mind-blowing thought. What if someone's a great worker, hard worker, and they like chilling at work? Huh? They could do that too. You're not automatically lazy as soon as you do anything at work that's not work-related. Is that a mind-blowing concept for people? It must be for these CEOs.
Experts say the fundamental experience of Boreout is its meaninglessness. It's when work doesn't really have a purpose, and Boreout can seem like just a buzzword, or even a laughing matter. But experts say it is just as pernicious as burnout, because boredom at work is a real issue. It is present across industries. It is bad for both workers.
I mean, it's really not that hard. If people aren't invested, they're not interested in what they're working on, and most people aren't because they don't own the company, they don't control it. They're just like, they do this every day, they get their paycheck, it is what it is, what's next? There's no real reason to be engaged other than you want something more from your job maybe. But a lot of jobs just take advantage of that and promise you endless promotions, raises that never happen, you know. And then you get bored because you've seen the pattern of corporate. And so you're just there for a paycheck. You already know what it's like to be engaged and go above and beyond. You get nothing. You get more work. So you get people quiet quitting, which is just doing their job and whatever else they want until they got to do their job some more. It's mind-blowing to me how CEOs and executives don't understand that an employee is never going to be as passionate about their company as they are. A lot of these corporate buzzwords could be solved with this understanding. All right, quick pause. Big thanks to AG1 for sponsoring today's video. And I've been drinking AG1 almost every morning for a while now because my ability to manage my state determines pretty much everything about my day. And if you don't know, gut health plays a huge role in that. Most people don't talk about it, but when your gut feels off, it affects your mood. It's one of those hidden variables that can make a good day feel like a chaotic one for no reason at all. So AG1 has become a part of my morning every morning because it supports the things I'm already paying attention to: my gut health, my digestion, my immune health, and my energy levels, especially during this time of year when routines get wrecked by travel, holidays, and inconsistent sunlight. And they even sent me this, AG1's D3 plus K2 vitamin dropper. And you know I have to make sure HR lady gets her vitamin D, right? I drink it in the mornings when I get up. It's 1 scoop of AG1 powder, some cold water, you shake it up, and you're done. They even sent me this with everything measured on the side so you know exactly what the mixture is, as well as a nice canister to keep it in so it stays fresh. Now, if you've never heard of AG1 before, it's a daily health drink with a blend that brings together multivitamins, prebiotics, probiotics, antioxidants, and 75 plus other vitamins and minerals. And the best part is AG1 Next Gen is clinically shown to fill common nutrient gaps, which is something a lot of people, myself included, don't always notice until they feel the difference. And they have a few different flavors: tropical, citrus, and berry. I usually go with the tropical flavor, and I drink it while I'm setting up for my day, checking notes, planning on what I'm going to film, or just taking a quiet pause before things get inevitably busy. Now, I trust AG1 because it's NSF certified for sport and they test their formula for contaminants. It's quality controlled in a way that I actually respect. One thing I do appreciate about it is how it streamlined things for me. Instead of juggling multiple supplements or forgetting half of them, it helps me stay consistent even when the rest of my routine gets unpredictable. Just 1 scoop, some cold water, and you down it. If you want to try it for yourself, well, AG1 has their best ever offer right now. Just go to drinkag1.com/Joshua Fluke or scan the QR code on your screen. You'll get the entire AG1 welcome kit, AG1 D3 and K2, a flavor sampler pack so you can figure out which one you like the best, and they even include some of their new sleep supplement, AGZ. You also get the canister, the scoop, the bottle. That's $126 in free gifts for new subscribers. So check it out. Link for that is down below. Huge thanks again to AG1 for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the content.
Disengaged employees cost employers an additional 34% of their salary. Through absenteeism and lost productivity, studies say chronic boredom increases employee turnover, early retirement intentions, even poor health and stress symptoms, because people who suffer from Boreout often suffer from depression, high rates of anxiety, even physical ailments like headaches.
I mean, this is pretty easy to explain. If you're bored, you're thinking about all the other things you wish you could be doing or that you should have done, and that gives you anxiety and stress. Then that starts to pile up because you keep thinking about those things and you develop headaches, migraines, insomnia, can't sleep. Yeah, people need things to keep their brain busy, and when they're not busy with the way that they prefer, these other things happen. Ask the employees how they'd prefer to do their job. What would make it exciting to them? But a lot of companies have a tendency to decide for their employees what's best for them and all of that. So we get this.
The worst part is while in burnout, the consequences are drastic and quite physical, like a worker collapsing from exhaustion. The symptoms of Boreout are more mental and emotional. Employees seem physically present, but they are absent in spirit. So Boreout stays hidden.
They're physically there, but absent in spirit, as in they aren't bought into the cult, the culture, company culture. You're there, it's a job to you, and you do what you need to. Otherwise, you're just there. You're not bought in. You haven't drank the Kool-Aid yet, which I think is a good thing.
It can also be seen as a worker lacking interest or motivation, which is an organizational taboo. But at this point, you must be wondering, if it's so bad, why don't employees just talk about it? Because talking about boredom is also taboo. Experts say employees feel like they will have a target on their back. How does one tell their manager they are earning a salary for barely doing anything?
If someone says we pay you a salary for barely doing anything, that's on them. Maybe they should have paid you hourly. Salary works great when you plan to overwork the crap out of your employees because you don't really have to pay them overtime, at least not in the United States. And if you're a salaried worker aware of that, well, you're just going to do the minimum amount possible because you're still going to get that salary. And thus we get the game of corporate.
Tackling Boreout can surely be tricky, but it is time that we start by recognizing it.
Boreout, do we know what that means?
I've never heard the term. It seems like it could be connected to the word boring.
Yes.
Grad student Ellie Botch is on the right track about the term Boreout. It's defined as a state of chronic boredom and lack of stimulation at work.
Person reading the definition of this Sounds like they're suffering from a case of it themselves.
This expert, Paul Peters, tells me this can be dangerous not only to productivity, but also when it comes to mental health.
You're pretty much set up in a job that's just continuing to do the same thing. There's no creativity and no excitement, and it's just really exhausting to get up every day and do the same thing over and over. When you're in a situation when you're working and you're just doing repeat over and over again, you get that feeling of discouragement, that feeling of dread. So people need to basically awaken to what their creative talents are and do something that's going to bring thrill and fun to their work.
That's the secret. Awaken your creative skills and bring that to work. There you go. Problem solved. You won't be bored or burnt out anymore. Awaken creatively.
They find themselves in that job doing menial type work that's not thrilling, not exciting for them. And you think about companies like Google and other ones similar to that have created a workplace that's fun, a high culture where people really enjoy teamwork. And so I think what needs to happen is the employee needs to recognize what they're passionate about. What can they bring to the employer to make that fun for them as well as the team? And I think
I think that's the reverse way to start. Bring your creative talents somewhere to yourself. Don't be giving all your creative talents away to your employer. I mean, this is a great solution if you're the company. Yeah, just bring all your creative ideas to me for our company in my pocket. No. Come on, if you're going to awaken creatively, do it for yourself. Don't bring it to the company. You'll still be bored and just wishing you could do your creative thing for yourself on your own without having to deal with this job. Trust me, I know. Can you believe that Inc. magazine wants people to pay to read about Boreout? This 2-year-old buzzword? For real? But yeah, another buzzword for burnout and boredom all combined into one. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. If you have anything you'd like me to showcase on the channel, you can email me, Instagram, Discord, however you'd like to do it. Links for that are all down in the description. But having said all that, I hope everyone is doing really well, and I'll see you in the next one.